Hello, I'm Plutoburns, and welcome to Eagleland. The last couple of episodes have been a little hard on our scriptwriter. Complaints have been registered with management, so in deference to his sanity, today's manga is an easier target than the Duck Hunt dog. And it's a one-shot, and making it only the second single-chapter manga covered on the show. And if the title Snow White 94 didn't clue you in, it's an entirely dated and disposable manga. It's honestly shocking how pointless this manga is. Naturally, it's a very loose interpretation of the classic Grimm's fairy tale. Though, more likely it was based on the Disney version, since I can't imagine Grimm's fairy tales are a common reading curriculum in Japan. So, this is someone else's interpretation of Snow White, shoved through the filter of 90s shoujo titles. Now, I prefer to use my reviewer position to review things of substance. But that doesn't mean I'm above taking out my stress on a piece of entertainment that can in no way defend itself. So let's get this pain train a-rollin'! Woo-woo! Alright, so we open up... okay, I guess we're skipping any kind of character establishment. Hell, we don't even see the evil stepmother until way later in the manga. On the next page, we see some burnt food? Oh, Lord. Wow, this is an ugly page. Okay, let's just walk you through this. First of all, Snow White is way too big. She's obscuring the bad cooking joke and is covering up this lower panel here. And then, this tiny little panel up here, that's the dwarves. But all you can see is their hats because clearly that's important. And then down here, you see these feet? That's the dwarves having a pratfall. Man, we've only just started. Oh, and they fell over because when they asked Snow to clean the house, she called up a cleaning service. Okay, so there's phones in this version? Alright. You really suck at this. Shut up! I've never had to take care of myself before, you brat! Hey, don't call me a brat. I'm 17, bitch. I'm just a dwarf. Calling it now. They fall in love. Because 90s. I'm not stealing that joke.
It's a tribute.
So now we get introduced to the iconic dwarves with their timeless names and personalities. So there's effeminate one, nerdy one with black hat, and Shostakovich triplets! You couldn't even come up with 7 different 90s anime tropes, and their names are literally their numerical designation. Even abusive love interest. His name is 7. This is like making a Pokemon team that's Mewtwo, Zapdos, Articuno, and then 3 Rattatas to fill out the roster. What is even the point of making this a Snow White story? Snow White is looking glum because everyone in the kingdom is out to kill her. She's so distracted that she forgets to put the lid on the food process. What? Whatever. I'm totally going to prove to 7 that I'm not useless by making the greatest cake ever! What? I'm getting free cake? Awesome! Wait, no, she screwed up the recipe! It needs more salt! I'm gonna have to magic the salt into her field of view. So, this world has monarchies and magic, but also telephones and food processors. So, 7, what did you think of my cake? It's not bad.
Well, we think the cake is delicious. You did a great job.
Thanks!
Ooh, look at that, 7. Isn't she cute when she smiles?
Okay, I know that the blooming smile is a manga trope, and there's nothing wrong with it on its own. But it's pretty annoying when the surrounding characters go, "We had no idea that you were so cute, but then you smiled!" Bullshit, she's Snow White, the fairest of them all. You noticed! We'll let you stay since people are trying to kill you, but you can't go outside alone. Wait, I thought she was already staying here.
Humph! I don't want to be ordered around by a shorty!
Shut up, giant woman! Okay, I guess that conversation is over. 7 is building something, and he and Snow White throw more height-related insults at each other.
Hey, so you must be looking for a guy who's taller than you, huh, Snow? Says awkward question dwarf.
Yeah, I'd only go for a tall guy who could pick me up. That would be awesome.
Ooh, right in the pride.
Turns out the thing 7 was building was a normal-sized bed for Snow White.
Aw, you big softy, you aren't so mean after all.
That's not it, stupid. We can't have her taking up 3 beds.
Tsundere. It's not just for women.
For those of you who weren't clear on what tsundere meant, this is basically it. No, I wasn't being nice to you. Shut up. Then Snow White is outside picking flowers.
Picking flowers.
All right, just a little more, and I'll be able to see down her dress!
7, what are you doing here?
I wasn't peeping. Anyway, you aren't supposed to go out alone.
Aw, were you trying to protect me?
Blush? Shut up, cootie-laden female.
Blush.
Just kiss already.
Oh, look, we finally get to see the evil queen. So, yeah, this is definitely based on the Disney version. Snow White gets depressed when she hears about her own funeral being held, but then 7 magics a flower in front of her to cheer her up.
7's magic is kind of lame. I mean, he has to build a bed by hand, but ooh, I can levitate a flower in front of your face that I kind of easily handed to you. Ooh.
Snow teases 7 by taking his hat when they both have a realization of their feelings. Stupid woman! Someday I'll become a real mage and become taller than you. Then I'll be able to lift you up easily. What does you becoming a wizard have to do with your height? What are the rules of this universe? Snow White tries to mollify him about the height difference, but he doesn't want to be pitied and runs off. And out of nowhere, Bizarro Granny Smith shows up offering a magic apple.
One bite of this magic apple will grant any wish.
Any wish?
Really? That didn't raise any red flags? Play the clip.
And there was this weird old gypsy who says,
mystical items at reasonable prices.
so I'm like, cool, what should I get? Brain in a jar? Monkey's paw? Ooh, pie! Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Think!
Snow White takes a bite and wishes that she was shorter than 7. That's actually a really interesting wish. It's irrelevant, of course, because the apple was poison. 1 runs off to tell 7 what happened, and he has a magical freakout. So the stepmom takes the unconscious Snow White back to the castle, but she wakes up.
Too bad for you, the apple bite I took dislodged during the journey.
How bad do you have to suck at eating things for that to even be possible?
But I do have to give the manga points for using the bugged out eyes gag, which I will always be a fan of. So up until now, the art for this hasn't been all that good, but now it gets really bad. So bad that it's kind of hard to follow what happens. Stepmom tries to summon forth the Wizard of the Mirror, but it causes an explosion that knocks her out. The wizard appears in front of Snow, and she declares that she would rather die than become the wizard's slave, which I didn't even realize was on the table at this point. But it turns out the wizard is 7, who grew after having his magic-gasm, and somehow was summoned to the room, and now they can truly consummate their love and live happily ever after, all their problems solved easily and with no sacrifices on their part.
Screw you, manga! You are a colossal balustrade to laziness. You do not get to have your contrived happy ending. This is how it should have ended.
I don't mind that you're short. You're so cute, and I'll love you anyway, no matter your height. I think I liked you better when you were shorter. You were cuter. Sorry.
wouldn't be this pissed off if there hadn't been that glimmer of originality with Snow White wanting to be shorter. Can't have that! No, make the guy taller! And apart from that one spark, the manga is entirely forgettable. It's a lazy adaptation with lazy art, lazy characters, and lazy writing.
What really takes the sting out of this is that this manga is irrelevant. It's a 20-year-old fluff romance that none of you even knew existed before I did this review. The only thing interesting that I could dig up about it was that it's by Aihara Miki, an author I'm actually quite familiar with. She's not that good, but her work is usually better than this turkey stuffing. Well, till next time, I'm Plutoburns, and this has been Eagleland.
The 90s kids were born. They wore their mushroom cuts and baggy-ass clothes. We are from the 90s with our faded sweaters. Our favorite song is Who Let the Dogs Out? We played Oregon Trail on our Macintosh and Windows 93. Cousin Gio bought me